When Maya was 16, everyone in her neighborhood called him uncle. Not because he was old, but because he was 8 years older, quiet, respectful, and always kept his distance. His real name was Daniel. Daniel lived in the small house across the street. He worked 2 jobs, barely spoke, and had eyes that carried stories no one ever asked about. To Maya, he was just the man who fixed her bicycle once and gently scolded her for riding too fast. "Careful, little one," he'd say, smiling softly. That smile stayed with her longer than she understood. As Maya grew, Daniel kept his distance. Too much distance. He watched her graduate. Watched boys walk her home. Watched her laugh, cry, live. And he waited. 8 years is a long time to love someone in silence. When Maya turned 24, fate finally pushed them together. Her father fell ill, and Daniel was the one who drove her to the hospital every night. He never crossed a line. Never touched her hand unless she was shaking. Never looked at her longer than necessary. One night, exhausted and broken, Maya whispered, "Why are you always here for me?" Daniel looked away. "Because some people don't need reasons," he replied. That was the night she saw him differently. A year later, they married. Everyone said Maya was lucky. A mature husband. A patient man. A man who had waited 8 years just to call her his wife. But love built on waiting can sometimes hide unfinished emotions. At first, married life felt safe, almost too safe. Daniel loved quietly. He showed affection through actions, not words. He worked late, came home tired, kissed her forehead, and fell asleep. He believed stability was love. But Maya wanted passion. Fire. Attention. And that's when Victor entered her life. Victor was Daniel's colleague, younger, charming, and reckless. He joked too much, smiled too easily, and made Maya feel seen. He called her kid at first, teasingly. Then one day, he didn't. "Your husband is lucky," Victor said casually, looking straight into her eyes. That sentence changed everything. Maya told herself it was harmless. Just conversations. Just laughter. Just feelings she didn't act on. But obsession never starts loudly. It whispers. Victor became the person she waited messages from. The reason she dressed up. The excitement Daniel no longer gave her. She hated herself for it, but she couldn't stop. Daniel noticed the change. The way Maya smiled at her phone. The way she flinched when he touched her hand. The way her eyes searched for someone else in crowded rooms. One night, he finally asked, "Is there someone else?" Maya laughed nervously. "You're imagining things." Daniel didn't argue. He never did. Instead, he went back to waiting, just like before. But this time, waiting hurt more. The obsession grew darker when Victor started pulling away. He flirted, then disappeared. Gave attention, then silence. Maya's emotions spiraled. She cried more. Slept less. Lived in her head. One evening, she followed Victor to a cafe, only to see him holding hands with another woman. Her world shattered. She ran home, shaking, only to find Daniel sitting quietly on the sofa, lights off. "I know," he said softly. Maya froze. "I've known for months," Daniel continued. "I just hoped you'd choose me again." She collapsed in tears. For the first time, Daniel raised his voice, not in anger, but pain. "I waited 8 years for you," he said. "I gave you everything. And you got obsessed with someone who never planned to stay." Silence filled the room. That night, Maya realized something cruel and clear. She hadn't fallen out of love. She had mistaken excitement for meaning. Victor was never love. He was escape. Daniel was love, steady, imperfect, real. But love doesn't always survive neglect. Weeks passed in cold distance. Then one morning, Daniel packed his bag. I won't beg, he said. But I won't disappear either. If you want me, choose me. Not out of guilt. Out of certainty. Maya watched him leave, realizing obsession had almost destroyed the only man who truly loved her. This time, she had to wait.